Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last video we learned about React's virtual DOM, and in this video we are going to create a React app, understand it and try to run it. So let's get started. But before we dive into the topic, here are the two blocks that I created with the steps you can refer to, and I will paste the links in the comment section. This is the first one, which says about installing React on your machine, and next one is about the React's folder structure, which we will see later. So first thing is we need to install React on our machine, but there are some prerequisite, which is we need to have Node.js and npm installed on our machine. So the npm stands for Node Package Manager, which comes with the Node.js. So you just need to install Node.js. This will be automatically installed. So for installing Node.js, you can visit their official site. This is their official site, and here in the download section, you can select the environment you want to download and just make sure that it is the LTS version, which is long-term support, and you can directly download the installer, run the installer, and the installation will be completed. So once the installation is completed, we can check if it is correctly installed or not. So for that, you can open the CMD and type here node v, which will give the version of the Node.js which is installed on our machine. So here we can see the Node.js is present in my machine. After that, we need to create a React app. So for that, this is the command for creating a new React app, which is the npm create React app and the name of the application. So previously we had seen npm, which is the Node Package Manager, which helps to which is like buying a tool and keeping it in your toolbox. But npx is like borrowing a tool, using it once and returning it. Okay, so using npx, we don't need to download or store this create React app anywhere. It will just borrow this from the global site, create our application, and then return it. Okay, so if we open the CMD and let's say we are at D, then the command for creating the React app is npx create React app and the name of the application. So for now, we will say welcome app. After hitting enter, it will take some time for the installations and all that stuff. Okay. You can see the React application is created successfully. Now we need to navigate into the project that we had created. So for that, you can do cd, then the name of the application that we had put there. Once we are into the application, you can hit any shortcut for opening it inside the code editor. So I have Visual Studio Code installed on in my machine. If you don't have it, you can go to the Chrome, then Visual Studio Code, go download, and from here you can directly download it for the Windows or Mac or Linux and anything you want. Okay, so once the code editor is downloaded, I had opened the project inside my code editor, and you can see there are multiple folders present here. We will see one by one what exactly they mean, but for now let's try to run the application. So in the code editor, you can see there is one section here, uh, terminal. From here you need to select new terminal. You can close the existing one if you want. Then there is one start command. Okay, so uh, just a quick overview. This is the package.json which have the scripts, um, the scripts for starting our application, for building our application, for testing, for eject, everything. So here, for starting our application, we need this start script. And what we are going to use, we are going to use the npm for that, for the installed packages. And here we are going to put start, npm start. When we hit enter, something happened. Delete this, create a new terminal, npm start. So once we hit the start, the npm will run the React scripts, and it will take some time to start our application. So it's trying to start the development server. Yep, you can see our web app is live. So for the local network, you can go to the localhost 3000, and here our application is running. So this is the application, and this is the code present for this application. Okay, so now let's understand one by one what these folders are. So for that too, I had created a blog. So you can see the second one. So it contains all the things related to React folder structure. So once the application is created using the npx command, this is how our application looks. We can check, there is node modules, there is public folder, then there is src, then there is a gitignore, everything. Okay, now let's see one by one. So first thing is the node modules. When we go inside the node modules, you can see there are multiple folders. So inside folders there are again few files. Some folders may have another folders. This @ have another folders. Then there are multiple folders, like thousands of folders or thousands of files presented inside the node modules. So this node modules contains all the libraries that are going to require for running our application. Okay, so if we want to install a library for fetching the results from the browser, then we are going to install it using the npm command, and that library is going to be present inside, or going to be add inside the node modules folder. So this is the role of the node modules. It is the backbone of your application, and it contains thousands of small libraries, or in technical word, its dependencies that the React and other tools rely on. For in the simple words, you can imagine it as the supply warehouse, where every time you install a package using the npm install, this is the command for installing the package, and this package is for fetching the results, or putting the results, or posting the results on the server. And when you install it, this library will go inside the node modules folder. Okay, and one thing is, you don't need to manually edit anything here in the node modules folders. It will be done automatically by the React scripts. So this insight is about the Git, the version control, that there is no need to push the node modules to GitHub, because it can be of 1 GB or 2 GB files, and we really don't require it. So it is better to always include node modules inside our gitignore file. So gitignore is the file that says version control, which files we need to upload it on the GitHub and which files we need to ignore. Okay, our next folder is about public folder. So inside public folder, you can see there are multiple files. There are icons, there are few pngs, then there is json file, and there is robot.txt file, and also there is the main index.html file present here. Now if you go to the blog, the index.html is a root HTML file, and React injects everything here. Like the in the code you can see there is an root ID. So once our application is built, or once we try to host our application, everything that we write inside the src folder, that means the code that we write inside the src folder, will be put inside this div so that it can be rendered into the browser. So that's the thing about the index.html file. It is the main file and it will be available to the browser. Okay, so React injects everything here, and that's where React mounts your entire app in the index.html file. Next is nothing but the tiny icon that can be this small React application icon. Then there is a manifest.json file which have the metadata for the progressive web apps. Like it helps user if they want to install something on your app or on mobile. Okay. Next is robot.txt which tells search engine what to index. These are not required. This can be required sometimes. Okay. Now the src folder, which is the main folder that we are going to use. So inside src folder, majority of our code is going to be inside the src folder. As you can see, there are multiple files which are created by default. So one of them is the index.js file. So inside index.js file you can see we are creating a root by get element by id root, which we had seen inside the public index.html. And once we get that root, we are putting everything like the code inside that root. So what is this app? This app is nothing but a component which we are importing it from the app.js file. So here in the app.js file you can see there is a function. We will see later what is the function, what are these components, what are the functions, what are the classes, everything. So for now just think of it like a component. This is the main component, and inside main component there is a code that we are displaying it on the website. There is image tag, there is then a learn react thing which is here. Okay, so everything that we are putting here is wrapped it into a function, let's say into the component, app component, and that app component we are placing it here. And once we place it here, this index.js file is going to put all the code that is present inside app into the public index.html file inside this div, which is going to render on the browser. That's the common workflow which React have. And other files are like, this is the logo, which is not required. This is the web vitals, which helps for the reports. I written it here. It is used to measure performance metrics, which is not required. Then the setup test for the testing environment, and these css files are the index.css is the global css file, and app.css is only scoped to app.js file. So that's about this src folder. The next thing is package.json file. Now package.json file have the list of dependencies, then they have scripts. It is like the DNA of your project, like it will have everything. So these are the libraries, these are the dependencies that we had downloaded. These dependencies are present in the side node modules, only names are present here. It will have a name, version of our application, then it will have script to start, to build, everything. Then it will have few configuration that may be required by when your application gets big. One of it is not important for us. This package lock is created automatically when we hit the npm install thing. So it contains all the data that is present inside the node modules. Then this is the readme file, nothing to do with the application. You can write anything, any documentation here, anything. Okay. Now there is one thing about React. is whenever we make any change, we don't need to close our application and again start it. So let's say if I remove this part, then the app component is empty. It means there is nothing present inside it. Nothing means there is no tag present inside it. And due to this, the index.js file, this content will be null or empty. And when this is empty in the public index.html, this thing will be empty. Now if you go to our application, you can see there is nothing present here. And if I want to add a small heading here, welcome to our application, so how we can do that? We can add one heading, sorry, welcome to our application. Make sure you have auto-save option present on here, or you need to manually save the file by using Ctrl S. Okay. So now if we go to our application, we can see the heading appeared here. Welcome to our application. We had not closed the session. We had nothing done here. We just added the change and the component got rendered to the browser. So this was all about how we can create the React application and what is the folder structure. In the next video, we will start with the basics of our React application. Like we will see what are the functional components, what are the components basically, and what are the class components. We will see how we can create new components, how we can manage them, everything. So let's meet in the next video. Bye.